Disclaimer: this video is created solely for informational purposes. Verify critical information from reliable sources. Viewer discretion is advised.
Welcome to our channel, where books come alive on screen. Get ready for amazing wonders that inform, captivate, and spark your imagination. Join us in this literary journey where everything is an adventure. Shadows of Hate: The Rise and Persistence of the Nazi Lowriders, by Subject Soup. Origin and Growth. The Nazi Lowriders originated in the California prison system in the late 1970s. Initially, they formed as a protective group for young white inmates. This formation was in response to the racial tensions and gang violence that were rampant within the prison system at the time. The NLR started as a splinter faction of the Aryan Brotherhood, another white supremacist prison gang, but soon developed its distinct identity and structure. Over time, the NLR expanded their influence within the prison system. They began recruiting more members, focusing on young white males who were susceptible to their ideologies. This recruitment process was rigorous, often involving violent initiation rituals and a demonstrated allegiance to the gang's cause. As their numbers grew, so did their reputation for being one of the most fearsome and violent gangs within the California prison system. By the 1980s and 1990s, the NLR had established themselves as a formidable force. Their growth was not just in numbers, but also in the scope of their activities. They began to exert control over various illicit enterprises within prisons, such as drug trafficking and gambling. This expansion of activities helped solidify their power and influence, making them a significant concern for prison authorities. Ideology and structure. The ideology of the NLR was rooted in white supremacist and neo-Nazi beliefs. They promoted racial purity and often expressed vehement hatred towards minority groups. This ideology was not just a belief system but also a tool for recruitment and control. By advocating a shared enemy and a common cause, they managed to bind their members closely together. The NLR structure was hierarchical, with leadership roles and a clear chain of command. At the top were the shot callers or leaders, who made strategic decisions and directed the gang's activities. Below them were lieutenants and soldiers, who carried out orders and maintained discipline within the ranks. This structure allowed for efficient operation and control, especially in the confined and volatile environment of prisons. Membership in the NLR was not just about belonging to a gang, it was a complete immersion into a lifestyle. Members were expected to adhere strictly to the gang's codes and conduct. Tattoos were a common way for members to show their allegiance, often featuring neo-Nazi symbols and imagery. These tattoos were not just for identification, they were also a symbol of commitment to the gang's cause. Activities inside and outside prison. Inside prisons, the NLR engaged in a wide range of criminal activities. They were heavily involved in the drug trade, using their influence to control the distribution of narcotics within the prison. This trade was a significant source of power and income for the gang. Additionally, they were involved in extortion, offering protection services to other inmates in exchange for goods or services. Violence was a key aspect of the NLR's activities in prison. They were known for their brutal enforcement of gang rules and their aggressive stance towards rival gangs. This violence was not random, it was a calculated tool used to maintain control and instill fear. The NLR also used their violent reputation to influence and intimidate both inmates and prison staff. Outside of prison, the NLR's activities extended to the streets, particularly in Southern California. They were involved in various criminal enterprises, including drug trafficking, arms dealing, and organized crime. The gang's influence in street-level crime was a testament to its ability to extend its reach beyond the prison walls. Their involvement in violent crimes, including assaults and murders, was a significant concern for law enforcement agencies. Law enforcement response. The rise of the NLR and their criminal activities did not go unnoticed by law enforcement. In the late 1990s and early 2000s, authorities began to focus more intently on dismantling the gang. This effort included undercover operations, surveillance, and collaboration between different law enforcement agencies. The goal was to gather enough evidence to prosecute high-ranking members and disrupt the gang's operations. Several high-profile cases against NLR members were brought to court, leading to convictions and long sentences. These legal actions were a significant blow to the gang, weakening their structure and reducing their ability to operate effectively. The convictions also served as a warning to other members and those considering joining the gang, demonstrating the severe consequences of their involvement. Despite these efforts, completely eradicating the NLR proved challenging. The gang structure allowed it to continue operating, albeit at a reduced capacity. Law enforcement agencies continue to monitor their activities, aiming to prevent a resurgence. The ongoing battle against gangs like the NLR highlights the difficulties in combating organized crime, especially within the prison system. Current status. As of my last update, the Nazi Lowriders had seen a decline in their influence and numbers. This decline was partly due to the concerted efforts of law enforcement and partly due to internal conflicts within the gang. However, it's important to note that even with reduced numbers, they remained active and were still considered a threat in certain areas. The NLR's presence, particularly in the California prison system, continued to be a concern. Their ability to recruit new members, although diminished, was not entirely eliminated. This ongoing recruitment effort meant that the potential for resurgence was always a possibility. The gang's history and reputation continued to attract individuals aligned with their ideologies. The story of the Nazi Lowriders is a stark reminder of the enduring nature of criminal gangs and the challenges in combating them. Their history is a testament to the destructive power of hate and violence. It underscores the importance of vigilance and continued efforts by law enforcement and communities to counter such dangerous ideologies and activities. Thank you for diving into the world of words with us. If you had a blast exploring this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, share the bookish love with your friends, and make sure to subscribe for more amazing adventures.